Welcome to Consphere, the podcast that helps you decode the digital universe before it decodes you. In an IT world that moves faster than a caffeine-fueled developer on a deadline, understanding your IT career path isn't just smart, it's survival. Tune in as we dissect the in-demand skills, the certs that actually matter, and the future trends that'll make your resume sing.
Okay, let's dive in. The IT world right now, it feels like it's not just evolving, it's fundamentally restructuring almost overnight.
Yeah.
New tech hitting us constantly,
Yeah.
job descriptions changing shape. It's exciting, sure, but also feels a little like standing on shifting sand.
It absolutely does.
Right.
And that constant flux is probably the biggest challenge, for anyone trying to build or advance their career in tech today.
Mm-hmm.
How do you navigate that?
Exactly. And that's the core question we're tackling in this deep dive.
Yeah.
We've got this really insightful blueprint document that lays out a
A
path.
roadmap, almost.
Yeah, a way to build a resilient and rewarding IT career despite all that change.
So this deep dive is essentially your shortcut to that blueprint. We're going to pull out the absolute essentials, the skills you need to prioritize right now, the
Yeah.
credentials that actually open doors,
Right.
specialized roles that are emerging, how you must approach learning, and maybe most importantly, what automation really means for your future role.
Our mission is to distill all that down so you walk away knowing what you need to focus on to not just keep up, but, truly thrive. So let's open up this blueprint.
Right from the start, the document makes it clear. IT demands fluidity.
Yeah.
The idea of settling into one static role or skill set for years, that's largely gone.
Yeah. Feels that way.
Your value comes from your ability to adapt and acquire new skills. Constantly.
And speaking of skills, the blueprint doesn't shy away from highlighting the technical giants dominating the landscape. Unsurprisingly, artificial intelligence and machine learning are front and center.
Absolutely central. The source cites expert predictions forecasting AI to add a staggering, $19.9 trillion to the global economy by 2030.
Wow.
When you see a number like that, you understand the sheer economic force driving demand for AI and ML expertise.
That number is huge. And you see it reflected in specific areas too, right? The blueprint notes explosive growth in niches like generative AI modeling and AI data annotation, seeing up to 220% year-over-year growth. That tells you exactly where some of the immediate demand is spiking.
And beyond AI, cybersecurity isn't just a technical skill. It's become a foundational necessity. Threats are escalating constantly.
Non-negotiable, really.
Totally.
Yeah.
Making skilled security professionals non-negotiable for pretty much any organization. The fact that approximately 52% of UK businesses alone experienced a cyber attack in the last 5 years. That's not just a statistic.
No, it's real-world impact.
It's a stark reminder of the daily battlefield organizations face.
Yeah, it's a constant defensive priority. And then you have cloud computing. The source describes it as a cornerstone technology.
Definitely a cornerstone.
And you see why with the massive migration of businesses moving their operations to cloud platforms like AWS, Azure, Google Cloud. For scalability and efficiency, expertise here is just fundamental.
Which perfectly connects to the rising prominence of DevOps. This isn't just a tool set. It's a culture, a practice bridging development and operations teams.
Right, breaking down those silos.
Exactly. The blueprint points to the DevOps market itself projected to grow by over 20% between 2020 and 2025. That highlights its critical role in delivering software quickly and reliably, especially in those cloud environments.
Okay, so we've got these powerful technical pillars, AML, cyber, cloud, DevOps. But the blueprint makes a really interesting turn, emphasizing what it calls human-centric skills. Why are these becoming so critical alongside the tech?
That's where the deeper insight lies, I think. As the technical tools, especially AI, become more powerful and automate, the routine tasks, the human skills needed to leverage those tools effectively become more valuable, not less.
Okay, so things like problem solving.
Problem solving, critical thinking, adaptability, and strong communication. The blueprint specifically highlights those. They're essential for working with AI and on complex projects.
So it's not enough to just know the tech. You need the sort of cognitive and interpersonal skills to apply it strategically, work in dynamic teams, navigate unforeseen challenges, the stuff the tech can't handle on its own.
Exactly. They are the skills that differentiate human contribution in an increasingly automated landscape. Now, transitioning from having those skills to proving them in a competitive market.
Right, the validation piece.
Yeah, the blueprint places significant value on certifications.
And the point here isn't just collecting certificates like wallpaper, right? It's about validation. In a fast-moving field, a respected certification tells an employer you have a verified level of expertise. The blueprint lists some key ones.
For cloud computing, it points to industry standards like the AWS Certified Solutions Architect, Google Professional Cloud Architect, and Microsoft Certified Azure Solutions Architect Expert.
Big ones.
Yeah, these are benchmarks for designing solutions on the major cloud platforms.
And in cybersecurity, you see heavy hitters like CISSP Certified Information Systems, Security Professional CompTIA Security, plus Certified Ethical Hacker, CEH, and CIA's EMA Certified Information Security Manager.
Those cover a range from foundational security practices right up to management and ethical hacking.
And for project leadership.
The Project Management Professional, the PMP from PMI, is highlighted as a global standard. The blueprint is quite clear. These aren't just resume boosters. They demonstrate specific in-demand capabilities and significantly often correlate with higher earning potential.
Okay, that makes sense. So we need the right blend of technical and human skills, validated by certs. But the IT landscape isn't just changing horizontally, it's also fragmenting vertically into highly specialized roles. What are some of the emerging niches the blueprint points to?
This is where you see innovation creating entirely new career paths. Data science and data engineering, for example.
Crucial now.
Absolutely crucial for turning the massive amounts of data businesses collect into actionable insights, fueling data-driven decision-making across industries.
And AI engineering specifically. That's about building the intelligent algorithms themselves, right? Powering everything from recommendation engines to autonomous systems.
Precisely. The blueprint also points to blockchain development, often associated with crypto.
Yeah, that's the first thing people think of.
Right, but the source notes its broader potential, revolutionizing things like supply chain transparency, secure digital identities, decentralized finance platforms, way beyond just currency.
Interesting. And don't forget extended reality, that's AR and VR development.
Right, augmented and virtual reality. The source sees growth here driven by the metaverse concept, sure, but also the increasing demand for immersive training, collaboration, and entertainment experiences.
Okay.
And finally, robotics engineering, designing, building, programming, physical robots for automation in manufacturing, logistics, healthcare, you name it. These emerging roles show that IT careers are becoming incredibly specialized.
With skills evolving so rapidly and all these new specializations popping up, one fundamental principle emerges from the blueprint as absolutely non-negotiable. Continuous learning. It's not optional anymore, is it?
Absolutely not. The source uses a powerful idea. The half-life of technical skills is shrinking.
Meaning what you gets outdated faster.
Much faster. What you learned 5 or maybe even just 2 years ago might already be outdated in some areas. Staying relevant means actively committing to lifelong learning. It's a mandate.
And the blueprint gives us practical ways to do this. Online courses and MOOCs, massively open online courses from platforms like Coursera, Udemy, edX, they're essential for structured learning.
Yeah, and attending industry conferences and webinars, that's vital for staying updated on the very latest trends and technologies. Plus, it's great for networking.
Good point. And critically, getting your hands dirty. Practical application through hands-on projects and labs. Theory is important, but applying it really solidifies understanding.
Definitely. Seeking mentorship from experienced professionals, too. That can provide invaluable guidance, insights into career paths, help you navigate challenges.
Like having a guide.
Exactly. And simply cultivating the habit of reading industry publications, blogs, research papers. It's about building learning into your routine, like any other essential part of your job. You got to stay curious.
Yeah, keep that finger on the pulse.
Which brings us neatly to the topic that often sparks the most, maybe, concern. Automation.
Yeah. Right.
The blueprint tackles the fear of job displacement directly.
The whole robots are coming for our jobs thing. But the source frames it differently, doesn't it? Not as simple elimination, but as a significant evolution of work.
It does. It provides some stark numbers first. Up to 800 million jobs globally could be displaced by 2030 due to automation. That number gets attention, obviously.
It's a huge number.
But the crucial counterpoint is the projection of 97 million new roles emerging by 2025 that are specifically adapted to a human-machine collaboration model.
Okay, so the picture's more nuanced. Automation is taking over routine, repetitive tasks in IT. Think of basic code checks, system monitoring alerts, running standard diagnostics, that kind of stuff.
Exactly. And this isn't necessarily a bad thing. It frees up IT professionals to focus on higher value activities that require uniquely human capabilities. Designing and managing complex automated systems, innovating entirely new solutions, strategic planning, deep problem solving.
The more interesting work, maybe.
Often, yeah. So, roles focused on AI implementation, data ethics, because who decides how AI uses data ethically? Complex system architecture design. These are the areas the blueprint suggests will flourish.
So it's about shifting your expertise to work with intelligent systems, rather than just performing tasks they can now handle better or faster.
It fundamentally changes the nature of what valuable IT work looks like. It's an evolution.
Okay, so as we pull these key threads together from the blueprint for you building your career in this incredibly dynamic IT landscape, the path to thriving seems to rest on a few interconnected pillars.
First, prioritizing and continuously acquiring those in-demand skills, both the cutting-edge technical ones like AI and cloud, and those indispensable human-centric abilities.
Problem solving, communication.
Right. Then actively pursuing relevant certifications to validate that expertise and make yourself stand out in the market.
Okay. And exploring, potentially specializing in those exciting emerging niche roles where innovation is creating massive opportunities. Data science, XR, blockchain.
And committing to continuous, lifelong learning as a core part of your professional life. Not an occasional activity, but a constant.
Right. Treat it like a habit.
And crucially, understanding that automation isn't just eliminating jobs, it's driving an evolution. It frees you up for higher value, strategic work that requires human ingenuity, working alongside the machines.
The blueprint's overarching message really feels empowering, actually. The IT industry offers unparalleled opportunity right now, and your ability to shape a rewarding future within it is largely defined by proactively engaging with these areas.
It puts the power back in your hands, doesn't it? It's about being proactive, not reactive.
It really does. And, that leaves us with something worth considering. If machines are increasingly handling the predictable, the routine parts of IT work, what does that imply for the unique contribution you, as a human professional, can bring to the digital age?
Good question.
How do you leverage those skills the blueprint calls human-centric creativity, critical thinking, empathy, complex problem-solving to position yourself beyond what any algorithm can replicate in this evolving partnership between humans and technology? Something to ponder as you chart your course.